Hey everyone, this is Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well and you had a good weekend. It's Monday, November 2nd. I have a very quick update for you on not only stimulus news, but most importantly, election news. The first polls close in less than 24 hours. Already 100 million votes have been cast. I'm going to briefly talk about the election and the most important things you need to know. You're probably inundated with information about this. But this is important for so many reasons: for jobs, for unemployment, and for the next stimulus package, not only for individuals, but also for small business owners. Whoever becomes the next president will have a major impact on any bills that get passed and when they get passed. So before we dive into the important election news, including the latest polls, again, these are the last polls we're going to see today, and there are many close battles. So I'm going to pull up 538 in a minute because there are two key states we should be watching. Even though many mail-in ballots will be counted in the days following tomorrow, there are a couple states where we may know with confidence how the results are going to go by tomorrow evening. So of course we want to pay attention to those because those could indicate who wins, Trump or Biden. So I'm going to get back to this in a minute, but first let's talk about the stock market and stimulus. So again, unemployment continues to increase, out of work Americans continues to increase. This is a letter from Nancy Pelosi last week. If Congress fails to pass another COVID stimulus deal, an estimated 5 million people will exhaust all of their unemployment benefits next month, according to a letter sent by Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Again, no one has changed their stance drastically. Of course, the Senate, the House, and the White House all want stimulus packages. They all want a new stimulus package. However, they're all on recess until after the election, even though they swiftly got through Amy Coney Barrett in the Supreme Court nomination. Pelosi wants a deal sooner. Of course, she's asking for more money. And frankly, so much comes down to who gets elected to the Senate, who gets elected to the House, and of course, who gets elected to the White House. Last week, stocks were down all week. Today, they have jumped as the U.S. election looms. Again, many people predict that whoever wins, it's going to be good for the stock market because there will be some certainty and some closure. Of course, that's not guaranteed, but this uncertainty that we're in now as we get into a day before the election was creating a lot of stress and anxiety last week, and stocks dipped, especially because of the lack of any stimulus deal. Okay, if you haven't been following 538 or you're not familiar, this is their bread and butter. I'm going to link to this resource, but they are impartial and they use pure data and the polls that exist to calculate the likely scenarios. Again, you can go into all that and how their forecast works. But here's the most important thing. Of course, we know that Biden is favored and he's up in several states. In fact, on our Skip blog, and I'm going to link to this as well, we've been updating polls on a daily basis. This is the morning update we did today, where we talk about the three key states, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Florida. I'm going to talk about those in a minute. But we are updating the polls on a daily basis. Many are close. The red ones here are Trump leaning. The blue are Biden leaning. These are the 13 swing states that exist, but you can see that Arizona, for example, is within the margin of error. Biden has less than a 3-point lead. Pennsylvania is still close. Georgia is close. North Carolina is close. And Florida is close. You know, the last 6 elections, whoever has won Florida has won the presidency, period. That is a bellwether for who's going to win the presidency. So we need to focus on Florida, but there are 2 other states that become critically important. So here's the winding path to victory that 538 put up. Again, the states that are red or solid red, and the states that are blue or solid blue, and the middle battleground states, okay? And basically how things are divvied up. So Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, these are close races. There is a possibility that Trump holds on to these states, as well as Arizona. Now, Arizona and Pennsylvania are 2 keys. If it looks like Pennsylvania will go to Biden, that is not a good sign for Trump. Pennsylvania has around 20 electoral votes, and that would put him over the 270 electoral votes threshold, assuming these other states go to him. The current polling leads show large leads for Trump in these states. Okay, so this is why we talk about Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Florida. Again, you can take a look at this blog post. I'm going to link to it in the description. It's also on our Skip app, which, by the way, we are updating multiple times a day, these polling numbers. And tomorrow, throughout Election Day, we will update as well. Again, you have lots of news outlets probably to go to, but But if you want to add one, a trusted source, go to Hello Skip on the App Store or Google Play. Download the free app, and you can also track our updates and news there for tomorrow's election day and the election day aftermath, which is arguably just as important. So here is one more data point that I think is worth bringing up. This is from the New York Times. They also have a great data team that is separate from the opinion section of the New York Times, of course. They will be doing needles for these 3 states tomorrow: Georgia, Florida, and North Carolina. Now, they are not doing an overall needle. Again, the needle is who's in the lead, Biden or Trump. They're not doing a national leader because of the millions of mail-in ballots. Just like all the TV networks, they're told don't call the election before it is clear, and many will be conservative and wait until they are sure that mail-in ballots have been received, especially for many of the battleground states. But in these 3 states, Georgia, Florida, and North Carolina, the New York Times feels that enough will be known tomorrow to give an indication. And if Trump loses one of these states, it is not a good sign for his campaign. A lot of the experts predict if he loses one of these, it's likely that he will lose the presidency to Biden. So that's why it's worth keeping an eye on these needles. We will be updating these on the app as well, so you can see Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, how are they leaning, and of course Arizona and Pennsylvania. However, we may have to wait longer for results, especially in Pennsylvania, where they can be counting ballots a few days after tomorrow. All right, we'll keep you posted on the stock market as it reacts to news from today, tomorrow, and the rest of this week. As always, I hope you are staying well, staying healthy. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting our channel. Wednesday, we're also going to pick more stimulus winners and let you know. Stay well, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow.